Yesterday, I found out that 17,000 doctors agree with Eric Clapton. Now, let me just say that again. For all of you who think, the people who aren't following the little emperor around and carrying his water, that would be me, by the way. You really need to trust me and trust the science. You don't trust the science? But people continue to follow that guy like he's infallible. Pope, call him the Pope. I don't know. What is he? For 2 years, he's been wrong. And the goalposts and everything they get moved around. Language changes. This works. Now it kind of doesn't work, but at least it does this. 2 years worth of this stuff, right? So I watched this rally yesterday that wasn't covered by anybody in DC, right out in front of the Lincoln Memorial. Great spot for it, by the way. There was no insurrection. There were no problems. Everything was just fine. This was a peaceful get-together. People of all different political backgrounds were there, for sure, because there are people in the world that believe in liberty, bodily autonomy, remember, my body, my choice, all that stuff. But they were there to be inspired. And one gentleman got up with a big stack of papers and said, here's a list of 17,000 doctors who agree with us. 17,000. Yeah. Does that sound fringy to you? Is that fringe that there are 17,000? If there were 7, I would say, okay, 7 is kind of fringy. But 17,000? I don't know. You would think that all of the rock media outlets, when they beat down people like Eric Clapton, Ted Nugent, Aaron Lewis, Travis Tritt, whoever it is, that they would take into consideration that there are other viewpoints out there. And not only are there other viewpoints, but they're very mainstream viewpoints. When you talk about Dr. McCullough, Dr. Malone, you're talking about guys who are highly published doctors, right? Who agree with Eric Clapton, or Eric Clapton agrees with them. And the reason I'm bringing Eric into this is the cut and paste rock media likes to emphasize certain things that Clapton said in his interview with me and with other people, but recently with me, because all their main concern is not to get to the heart of what Eric Clapton is about, not to understand where he's coming from, not to even maybe do a little bit of investigating into what he's saying. And this is the big crime of the last 2 years. Lack of intellectual curiosity and information by omission. Lack of intellectual curiosity, information by omission.